For instance, you might think that a laboratory is a quiet, dull place where things happen very slowly. But not Biologicals Unlimited, a lab that's run by Jack Kilmon in Baltimore, Maryland. Jack has discovered that animals that are naturally immune to the venom of snakes and spiders also seem to have something in their blood that protects them against cancer. He's working with these poisonous reptiles right there in his lab, trying to discover just what that substance might be.
Although tarantulas are, like all spiders, venomous, the venom not being particularly toxic is still of value to scientists in certain types of studies.
Before, when I had seen a picture of a tarantula, the thing just sitting there looking at me just looked more gruesome than it really was.
That seems to be a spider of absolutely tremendous size.
Yes, and because of that, tarantulas have gained a reputation which they really don't deserve. Hollywood has made them objects of danger and use them in all types of situations. Actually, their bite is something of a bee sting. But since they are venomous animals, we do extract their venoms. Now, Bernadine here is a family pet, and we won't extract venom from her. We'll put her away. And I have another one here that we can use.
Mr. Kilman knows my dad, so that's how we sort of met.
Okay, this is a wild tarantula from Mexico. When you grab the spider, you grab him in such a manner that you don't hurt the spider and the spider doesn't hurt you. Okay, the fangs, if you'll lend me that probe, are much like a snake's fangs. There they are, see?
Yes.
And if you look very closely, you'll see a small droplet of venom on the end of the fang. Okay, let me get a better grip on her. A little bit tighter. And what we do, expose the fangs. When you put a little pressure on the fang, the venom appears at the very tip. Now it's almost infinitesimal, very small, but if you'll notice there's a very tiny drop on the end. And we put that on this little small plastic tube, and then the venom is drawn up by capillary action. And you've ever had a finger stick blood taken where they stick your finger and put a little glass tube to it?
Yes.
Well, it's the same principle. It's called capillary action.
Now, how would you tell the difference between a male or a female spider?
Well, a male spider is usually smaller than a female. And the little appendages in front that look like little legs, they're called pedipalps. And on the end of the male, they're a wide scoop. And this is what the male uses in reproduction.
Normally, we have anywhere between 500 to 2,000 different snakes in the laboratory, representing about 60 different species, depending entirely on what particular venom we're working on at the time. Most of these snakes are the various species of cobras. I've been working with venomous snakes continuously for about 12 years and would estimate that I have handled about 500,000 snakes on different occasions. A snake, whenever you handle it, as far as a snake is concerned, he is protecting his life. So you have to react in kind. You are the aggressor and the snake is the defender. That when I handle a king cobra or a rattlesnake, I am in essence at that time thinking like a king cobra or a rattlesnake for my own protection.
When I see him working with something like the king cobra, it's sort of an awe type feeling that you just can't put into words. Like, just a handful of people can do what he can do. It's really great to know somebody like that and to be around him.
I have never been bitten by any of these, and although it looks easy handling these snakes. It is not easy. It's based on many years of studying the snake's habits. It's based on developing a skill with your hands to keep from getting bitten, and I would in no way encourage anyone without an actual need to attempt to handle snakes in this manner.
Well, it took a while to get this one, didn't it? It's a very nervous snake.
The king cobra carries enough venom in its venom glands to kill an elephant, or at least 150 to 200 men.
Okay, the parafilm nice and tight.
I made sure of that.
Okay, because his jaws are rather powerful. Okay, all right.
How much venom do you think you're going to get out of this one?
I would expect a couple cc's.
Venom looks very syrupy.
Yeah, it's very thick. It's more concentrated than most venom. That's one of the things that makes a king cobra so dangerous. Okay. He's going to chew some more. See, it's very bright orange. Looks almost like orange juice.
What kind of snake is this?
This is a puff adder, the African puff adder. This is not a pit viper. It's a common viper, or the true viper. It's a very strong snake, heavy-bodied. You can take the stick. This is one snake you have to get a good grip on. They have very strong muscles. If you'll hand me the probe, I'll show you that they have one of the best developed fangs of any snake. There, you see? Now they're covered over with a membrane which protects the rest of the mouth from the fang itself. Okay, now those are like hypodermic needles. Now what we'll do is express a little venom from the fangs themselves. See? Now, as I put a little pressure on the venom gland, you see the droplet of venom forming on the fang?
Yes.
See, just a little bit of pressure. See? You never use too much pressure where it might bruise the snake, but just enough to express the venom. Now what we'll have to do is give his mouth a good washing with the antiseptic. And that will keep the snake from getting any minor infections which can later lead to major mouth infections.
A very interesting venom mechanism for a snake is the spitting cobra. The snake contracts very powerfully on the venom gland and literally squirts the venom like a water gun. When he does this, the snake aims directly at the eyes of the aggressor or of its prey. Ever since the Garden of Eden, snakes have had a very special place in the hearts of men. Some hate, some love.
It's a colorful snake, isn't it?
In any event, all naturalists recognize these very special creatures, and to me, they are among the most interesting creatures on Earth.